welcome to Quilting Corner Live. We are having such a wonderful show and we just finished our Christmas party in our studio. And guess what, guys? On Friday, I have a special event for you. So make sure put on your calendar that Friday at 11 you watching our laundry basket quilts live show because we have our Christmas party for you on Friday. So we just had a Christmas party here in the studio for all our girls and guys that work with us because we're so thankful. We will not be able to do everything that we do, from filling your orders to sending emails to you. Everything that we do is because we have such a wonderful staff that help us do it, and we're so thankful. So today we had a great celebration and a lot of us got beautiful Christmas gifts. Yes, everybody got Christmas gifts, but I was a special recipient of a really cool Christmas gift. You know, this is my favorite candy. Yes, do not put this candy in the same room with me, okay? Because it disappears immediately. And I just got the giant size of that candy. I'm so excited. And you know, I love a low treat, candy, maybe sliced apple sitting right next to me, my favorite cup of tea, and then work on a nice, simple, fun project for the holidays. And this month, our Little Quilts Club has the cutest project. I'm gonna be doing 2 quilts. I'm still working on my hand project from last month, but right now I have this one almost done. You can get this one done in no time because this one is so simple and it's so fun, and it has to do with applique, and I love applique, especially fusible applique with edges finished with a nice zigzag button stitch or blanket stitch. So today during our show I want to show you this project, but I know you're thinking about holidays and maybe you are last minute and you didn't get a gift for someone, or you're thinking about yourself, and that's okay too. Self-care, caring for yourself is fine. Please don't feel bad that you're thinking about doing something nice for yourself because you know yourself the best. And maybe you're thinking, what can I get for someone or for myself? Do you know subscription are the best because every month you're gonna get another gift and another gift and another gift, and you can keep working on your quilts, and then in the end of the year you're gonna have a beautiful quilt, and it's a gift that keeps on giving all year long. So we have some wonderful options for you. One of my favorite options is our fabric club. That one, this is this month fabrics. They're just gorgeous light neutrals. I think everybody needs it, but every month for Fabric Club you get 12 fat quarters and you can use them anywhere you want it. Some of you guys are going to be using your fat quarters for our upcoming quilt along called Common Bride. Another wonderful subscriptions that we have is our Little Quilts Club. This is the one that we're going to be working on it today. You're going to see me putting my appliques, and I'm going to show you how to put the border onto this cute little quilt. So simple. So simple, and it's small project, easy to quilt yourself, so you don't have to worry about sending out. And what it's nice about this subscription is that you get quilt top, binding, and backing. So all that you have to do, grab leftovers of bedding, finish your quilt top, layer it up, quilted it, and you have a finished project. But if you're thinking about something special, what about signing up for our block of the month? And we have 3 incredible blocks of the month, and they're going to be announced on Friday and live on our show on our website during our live show for our Christmas party. So this one is already available. This one is the Teller Shop Village, and it's a super fun and simple because everything is pre-cut for you, and you will be making 2 houses every single month, and in no time, 10 months, you have a full quilt. We also be sending to you the sashing and a binding. So this one is nice and simple. You can sign for this one right now, and I like simple blocks that I repeat over and over because with this kind of block I can master a really good technique. And the house block gives you a little bit of room to think and challenge yourself to get a good points and make a beautiful, beautiful house. So that is the one that it's already available. Then our next one that we're gonna open up on Saturday, and you can sign up. Please remember, for any of our block of the month, we capped it, so we have limited amount of spaces. So if you want one, please sign up for it, because you're gonna regret it, and then you calling us and want us to cut especially for you, but we can't do that. We have to cut all at once, so we have to put a number on those. Our second one is our stunning sewing basket. It's brand new. It is beautiful pattern. This one is also completely pre-cut for you guys. The whole thing completely pre-cut. All that you do is get the packages, do the applique. It will come with fusible applique. All that you have to do, fuse it down, stitch around the edges, and you have your applique done. This is perfect to challenge yourself for some applique. So this one is wonderful. Now the other one that we have in blue and white is our blizzard, and this one is pieced. There is no white seams in those snowflakes, only straight piecing. I'm telling you, you want to sign for this one. So all these incredible blocks of the month, just take a peek, one after the other. I don't know, it's gonna be hard to choose. You maybe want to sign up for all of them, okay? But if you have to choose, I know you're gonna choose something that works the best for you. So please go to our website, sign for them. You are not gonna regret. Next year we're gonna do quite a bit of applique, so this one is gonna come very handy with the applique. And you know our blocks of the month, you get the packages with all your pieces, and then we also have videos, we have live shows that we're gonna be talking about it, so you get a lot of support to be able to get your blocks done. So we have blizzard, sewing basket, and a teller shop village. Oh guys, I'm doing all three. I'm doing it with you, and I hope you decide to do it with me. So, but for today, let's talk about this little cutie. Isn't she beautiful? This is our little flower basket. I love applique, and I've done a lot of appliques, and this applique is based on our simple shapes. This is a collection of shapes that I use over and over in many different quilts. This one behind me shows you 9 blocks, and this one called Home Sweet Home, and this is the same shapes that I'm using in this quilt. It's one of the blocks from this quilt. And also want to bring to your attention, later on in a year we are going to have a quilt along that we're going to be doing all of those blocks. So this may be a fantastic practice for you to see how you like, in case you want to get involved and for 9 weeks do a beautiful applique blocks with us. So this is the one I'm gonna show you today, low flower basket. In the pattern you have directions for the piecing, but also directions for applique. Now this is just a fusible applique, and what I also love about this one is we're only gonna use a fusible applique, but in the pattern I have included multiple appliques, because guess what, you can make your little quilt with me, the kit that you get. But for example, you're gonna want to give a gift to someone and want to make a hand applique project with that same pattern. You can do that. Now you have a pattern, and this is why I included a hand machine and fusible applique, because I thought in case you want to try something with your own fabrics later on, you have the directions to do it. But for now, for the Low Quilts Club, we have the fusible option. This is your little kit that you're gonna get. Some of you already got it. We have a gorgeous backing for this quilt. I love this fabric. All your pieces are already fused, cut, ready, set, go. And in the package with the fusible pieces, I have included the bird, even that the bird is not in this picture, because I thought this gives you an option to do a little bit thing of your own. If you want to add a little bird here, if that's up to you. So that's why I included a bird, and I thought this is gonna be great. All right, and the silhouettes that I'm using called Primrose silhouettes, we will have them on a website if you want more of them for other projects. But I'm gonna start by pulling out my background piece. This is the background piece, and I also took my pattern. Let me put this to the side or I show you. I opened my pattern, I trimmed it right here on the line, do you see? And I matched the dotted line with the dotted line, so that way I have a full layout for this design. I'm using my light table just so I can see it a little bit better, so I can turn my table right on. Then I'm gonna go ahead, place my background right on it, center it up, and right here on this picture it shows you where the center is. So center it up and center up your background and lay it down, so that way when you're laying your pieces out, everything is perfect. And I'm gonna start by placing the picture, color picture, right next to me, because I want to see the colors where they were positioned, because I think they look really nice here. If you want to move some pieces around, listen, it's your quilt, you can do that. But I spend hours to make sure that everything shades from bottom to the top, nice reds, beautiful berries, nice circles. So please take advantage of this, that I've done the work for you, and make sure that all your fabrics and all your colors are just the best, the best. So I'm gonna put that picture next to me, and I saved a little corner to do it with you guys. And as we're doing it, this is a live show. If you have any questions, please send them over, and Erin is here with me, and she will be asking those questions to me, and I can answer them. For now, all that I'm doing is I pull my silhouette pieces out of my package, and now I'm gonna be peeling the paper part away from my pieces. I already trimmed this little stem to fit exactly right here. It was nice and long, and all that I did is just cut it long enough to match the pattern. And now I'm gonna lay it down, gently push. This has a steamer seam on it, a little sticky on it, so that way my pieces are sticking to the background. I'm gonna tuck it under the basket right here, and I'm gonna push that basket right over, and look how nice it looks right now. Oh, I'm so excited about this project. Now, Erin, do we have any question? I'm gonna do the same thing with leaves. Notice I creased a little corner, open it up, I waited, open it up very gently. You don't want to pull the fusible webbing. And now I'm gonna put it down. And remember, once you lay all your pieces, we're gonna iron it, but you have to remember to use enough heat that you fuse the fabric to fabric and get rid of that sticky, so it doesn't later on stick to your needle. Okay, Erin, your turn. Tell me if there's any questions.
You know what? We don't have any about the project yet, but we did have one comment asking if we could make sure we do, if you're going to show stitching at any point, or like when you're laying something down, we can get a little close up. Maybe Michael can get us that close up.
Wonderful. So right here, let's do a close up on this. I'm going to put that center. See, my design is right here. I'm going to now go ahead and match it up. And you know what? I got prepared for you guys. I didn't just prepare one stitch. I have 4 different, let me see, 4 different ways to show you stitches. I have a little sample. We're gonna go really close to it, and I show you some nice stitches that you can use on your beautiful applique. So look what I'm doing. I'm placing one piece under the other. The dotted lines symbolize which piece is under which piece. So when you see a dotted line, for example, like the bud is right here, this is the color part, and I'm gonna put the green part right over to cover some of the edges. And there's another leaf, so right there. Erin, I'm gonna let you jump in if you notice some questions.
Perfect.
Okay, so just tell me.
Andrea did have a question.
Oh, wonderful.
And Andrea was wondering, after you iron it down, do you like to machine stitch or do you hand sew?
I love to machine stitch on that. I think the fusible, this is why I'm doing it, because I'm using fusible. I want a quick results, so going it by machine is great, and using one of your beautiful decorative stitches would add so much to the design. Make sure we're gonna talk about what needle, what thread we need to use, and how to deal with it if something is sticking and gook up, because that could happen if you do not press enough. You need to press it really, really nice. The pieces are not overpressed. Look at, I have all my pieces down. Now all that I'm gonna do is turn that light off. I'm gonna remove my layout from underneath. I'm gonna put it to the side right here. Also, I can unplug my beautiful light, and all that I would have done next is take this to my ironing board and go ahead and iron. I like to set my iron on a medium heat. I don't like it too hot because I rather hold the iron a little bit longer than overheat right away and burn the fusible and it falls off. Okay, but with the steamer seam too, I know that you're gonna need a little bit more heat to get rid of this sticky into your pieces. So right there, I already have all my pieces in place. All that I have to do is iron it on. Once I iron it, then I'm gonna go ahead and decide on stitches. And now you're gonna be looking at this project and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I love it. I'm afraid I don't want to stitch. Guess what? There's such a simple steps. And also, if you don't want to stitch it, you don't have to. You can just iron it on, add your border, layer with backing and batting, and quilted it. Because this is a wall hanging, so you're not gonna use a lot, so the pieces are not gonna fall off, and you're not gonna be washing this. This is a little wall hanging, so it will stay for quite a while. And I'm gonna start with that simplest option you can do, and this one, and I especially on this sample have orange thread so you can see it, okay? And what you're going to do is quilt your background. You can quilt it with just a simple stitches. I have a little crosshatch, and then you're gonna stitch 1/8 on the inside of all your pieces. This stitch is a quilting stitch and applique stitch at the same time. This calls raw edge applique, where the edges are raw and you just stitch around the edges to keep everything in place. Okay, just remember, with time eventually it will fray a little bit, but that maybe adds to the look of your quilt, that has a little bit more like primitive fun flavor. So this would be one option. Another option that you can use is, if you wanted to, you go ahead and put nylon invisible thread in the top. This is for somebody that wants to hide the stitches. And you see black here, but really when you open this thread, it's charcoal. This is from Aurifil. It's just a simple nylon invisible thread. It's really, really nice. And what I'm going to do is 2370 from Aurifil in a bobbin, this thread on the top, and I'm going to be using a wonderful needle from Schmidt's needles, and they're super non-stick needles. They're especially for applique, so they should work really nice. And I'm using 80, but it's a little bit thicker than 70 because I'm planning to make nice holes to feed my thread through it and don't catch the sticky on it. Okay, so let's use this thread, this needle, and I'm gonna be making a small zigzag. You cannot see this zigzag on this side, but I'm gonna flip it to this side, and notice the zigzag size is just 1/8 width. And all that I'm doing is I'm having cotton thread and nylon invisible thread. When you set up, make sure you set up the width on your machine to be covering the edge 1/8 of an inch. You want to cradle the edge, cover the edge of your applique really, really nice. And when you do zigzag, make sure that the needle doesn't touch the edge and the needle doesn't fray your edge. You just want to cover the edge right here with this beautiful thread. This is the fusible applique, invisible fusible applique. Why invisible? Because we're using invisible thread. So remember, we had a raw edge fusible applique, invisible fusible applique. So that's option number 2. Option number 3 is probably one that I'm gonna choose from one of them. So right here, option 3 and option 4 are very similar. Option 3, we are again going to use a zigzag, but this time we're using a color thread. Notice this beautiful color thread right here. Do you see? I'm using the 2370, but this time I'm gonna tap into my beautiful secret stash threads because they are perfect for the colors in this quilt, and I'm gonna match it up. If it's a blue, I'm gonna use a beautiful blue thread. I want to accent, I want to just I want to complement, really nicely the edges. So I'm going to use a nice threads matching to the colors in my project, and I'm gonna use a small zigzag, and I go all the way around the edges. This is so simple. But then I know many of you have sewing machines with decorative stitches like this one, the blanket stitch, also known as a button stitch. I'm not gonna argue about this one. I'm gonna call it a blanket stitch. This one is super cute. I love it because it adds extra detail. Look at how pretty it looks around the top. So what I'm gonna do is use that stitch to go all the way around the edges. This time I'm doing a 2370, and again, you can either go ahead and use something to complement or accent the pieces. Complement, it means the same color. If it's green, I'm gonna use a green. Accent means you want to add more color to it, and with the accent, for example, if I have a beautiful pinks here and I want a little bit darker, I would go ahead with a darker one. I'm very settled. I don't like a lot of fluff, and I don't like a lot of like embellishments. So I'm very quiet in my threads, but boy, they still help me achieve what I wanted, the beautiful detail and a gorgeous edging to my projects. So what I would have done it is really complement beautifully what I have in a picture by opening my package and choosing matching threads. And I'm gonna try to open this package. Every time I try it and I have a brand new, it gives me a hard time because they're just packed so beautifully. And look at this set of threads is just wonderful. Look at this, look at this, look at this, guys. Look at the threads I just opened up, and right away I need a low brown for stems. You got it. I have a low. This is one of my favorite. It's like a low charcoal, but it goes really well with browns. So I would have used that. Oh, I need some pinks and reds. Oh, this is perfect. I would have used that. I see a low orange and a gold. I have two options. Okay. This could be with the tops of my greens, but if I want a little bit of a orange, I could put that around the edge in the center of my flowers. Oh, this one could work for both. Then I have beautiful blues, and look at this blue, and sometimes the thread looks darker, but when you open it up and just you look at a single thread, it fades away to the beautiful fabrics that you have. So look at all these wonderful options. If I want to add a little bit green onto my stems, I could do this. To me, spilling the threads and adding a little details, this is more raspberry, but I love if I would have put this with this flower. So this kind of box would work very, very nice. Notice I have this just regular, this one is 2324. It's just a taupe. This would be really nice for backing if you don't have a 2370 for your bobbin, so you could put that one in. But those are the cute little threads that I would use. Now once you applique, you finish all your stitches, you have to prepare for the next step, and I'm gonna show you the next step because we have a little border around it made from quarter square triangle, and I know you are so excited about that. I'm gonna move my project, put it this way so it's still in our frame. but I'm gonna start preparing because now look at this. I have to make all these gorgeous quarter square triangles, and guess what? We surprise you and spoiled you rotten because we have pre-cut all your gorgeous quarter square triangles. It says border. You're gonna open this package, and all that you're gonna do is make a little combination of two dark quarter square triangle and two light. Two dark and too light. I like not to have them matching because I'm focusing on making a little chain of squares going around. So I don't want them connect. I don't want the same here and the same here because it's gonna sink into that block. I wanted to focus on the areas that this is gonna make later on when I sew my little quarter square triangle units. But this is what you do. You're gonna take two quarter square triangles, you're gonna place them right sides together, and you're gonna stitch. You're gonna do the same thing on this side, place them right sides together and stitch. Go ahead and keep doing it this way. I have prepared some for you guys. Notice it. I'm now gonna go ahead and open it up very gently, and when you're stitching it, make sure you use a nice shy 1/4 inch seam allowance. Why? Because you have quite a few pieces and you don't want to lose the size of this unit because you're gonna need it later on to build a nice low border. So right there, I just finger pressed it. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Finger press it, push it towards the dark. Look at this. And speaking of finger pressing, that's so much fun. Also use a low pressing tool. And now I'm gonna go ahead, place those right sides together. They're so much fun to do it, and you just have to do a few sets of them. Let me see how many sets. Let me see. And in the meantime, Erin, do you have any other questions?
Yes, I do.
I love that.
We have a question from Tony, and she was wondering, when doing an applique project, can she quilt the background before applying the applique?
Yes, you can do that. So you could make the background, put your border on it, quilt the whole thing, then put your applique on it and only stitch around applique. And when you said that, actually I have to go back right here with my little sample. Notice this I pre-quilted for myself. That's what, then I put the applique onto it. If you do it at once, quilt and applique, I would have to come up and then bump it away or finish and go over here to keep going. So pre-quilt the whole background is very smart idea. It goes really quickly. And for anybody that has a long arm machine, sometimes you're finishing a quilt and there you have this little bit left of a bedding and a backing from another quilt. Putting those little quilts down and quilting it, and then you have it done. So helpful, so helpful. But right here, notice what I'm doing. I matched my pieces. I'm gonna use my wonderful threads. Those are such a good gift. If you want a gift for yourself or someone, those little glass head pins are just great. And now I'm gonna stitch. As soon as I finish stitching, look what happened. I just finished this up. I'm gonna open it up, and in the back I'm gonna pull it apart to create a beautiful opening right here and create a little quarter square triangle unit. Then I have to find my cute little ruler. I had it someplace on the table. Oh, it's right here. It's my 4.5 by 4.5 Creative Grids ruler. I'm gonna place that cute little ruler right over my unit to make sure that I did a good job, nicely lined up, match. This line goes right through the middle. And the most important thing, if you want to learn something in quilting, is make sure when you finish your units, you always square them up. This is gonna take you to another level of quilting. You're gonna be so pleased when you square up your pieces. Everything looks so nice. So ironing, squaring up, so important. Pushing your seam allowances in the right direction or keeping your seam allowances open really does help, because look at this. It was very little. It wasn't much that I have to trim, but I know now that this unit is 2.5 by 2.5, and I check and I believe we're gonna have to make 34 of them. 34 of them. As soon as we make them, we're gonna go ahead and line them up to borders. We're gonna line it one after the other, and you can either follow the picture in my pattern right here for the color options, or you can go ahead and just random line them up, and all that you have to do is sew them to full borders. I took the time. I couldn't help myself. Once you make those cuties, you don't want them to run around your sewing room and accidentally make it into the Christmas tree. Yeah, you want them right away put onto the beautiful borders, because you're gonna need the border on the left, border on the right. Let's clean our space. And then we have extra squares in our packages for the corners, and we're gonna make a border for the top and a border for the bottom. And now all that you have to do is sew this to this, this to this, add this, and you have another beautiful quilt finish, and our little flower basket will be done. When you sew your borders, the seam allowance, follow the directions in the pattern, push them towards the center, so that way they're not bumping right there, because there's a lot of piecing, and you're gonna either open those seams in between or push one direction. I think you're gonna wanna open them up. It's really, really pretty project, and I'm so excited that we got to do it together. And I am so looking forward to that. One day next year, I'm hoping you're gonna join us for this Home Sweet Home quilt along. I'm getting all the fabrics. Everything will be pre-cut available for you guys. Maybe you want to join us, and we're gonna be using our Primrose collection for that one. So I'm super, super excited. If you are applicator, if you never done applique and you wanted to do it, this would be perfect opportunity for you to join us and do it. Now, do we have any other questions?
Yes, we have a great question from Sonia. And Sonia was wondering, how do you hide your threads or end your threads at the beginning and ending of stitching?
I love that you asked these questions. What I like to do is I pull my threads to the back. Do you see? I pull them to the back. I pull gently on them, so that way my top thread, see that yellow one, now came to the back. And what I'm gonna do later on is take this and weave this into the stitch right in the back. So pull your threads to the back. If you cannot pull it, just make sure you leave a long enough thread that you can take a needle, thread it, and then push it through it, and right away push through the back to hide those threads. Very, very good question. And with this small project, I have to tell you, you're not gonna have that many threads, but if you're changing the colors, you maybe do. If you're using the invisible thread, you wanna be stitching as long as possible. So for example, I start here, I'm gonna go all the way around every single piece that I can. I'm gonna go around the circles, come back. I will come back later on for the smaller circles, go around here, keep going, go here, and I just gonna travel from one to the other right there. And don't forget, make sure that if you have to, don't stitch, pull gently, and the thread would just lay on the top of the fabric. Just remember when you're quilting that you don't catch the threads that are laying. This nylon invisible thread truly does blend in and hide. And be very gentle and kind to yourself. The project is gonna look different when you're stitching around than comparing to when you quilt and it's completely finished. I always amaze me when I do applique. I'm like, is this good enough? How my stitches, I can see them, and then suddenly I quilt over and everything just melts together and it's beautiful. So first of all, when you're doing your appliquing, remember stitch onto that side. Remember I told you about it, to make sure that this needle doesn't touch the edge. And later on when I quilt in a ditch and I quilt right over here, and that way it pulls my applique to round up the edges even more for me. So that's a little tip for you guys, how to make your fusible applique, finish edge fusible applique, look like a really nice applique. So I hope that helped. So remember, fusible applique breaks into raw edge fusible applique or finish edge fusible applique, and the finish edge could be invisible or decorative blanket, button, zigzag stitch. So excited for you guys. Do we have any other questions for today?
We do. We have a few.
Yes.
We actually got a few of the same question.
I love that.
If some of the ladies are still wanting to get this project, are they still able to?
Yes, so if you want to sign up for our Low Quilts Club, you can sign up anytime during that month. And what we're doing, because we have so much interest in it, it has been so successful thanks to you guys. And I very, very much appreciate that. Not only for me, but especially for my staff that is just so thrilled to have such dedicated customers. And so what we are doing is we keeping a nice extra low blocks from the previous month, because we know everybody that is signing up, they keep asking, can I have this month? Could I, if I join, can I have the previous month or two? So we do have, as long we have it, we will ship it to you. But come on up, signed up. We are going to be doing Low Quilts Club all year long next year. I can guarantee you there that I have stunning quilts for you guys. The January quilt is so beautiful. And then what we're doing it every second month, as often as we can, we pre-cut, or because of technique, we do something different. I don't want to spoil it for you for next month, but every month I'm trying to not only send you a kit with templates or low pattern or notions, whatever needed for that particular project, but I also wanted you to learn fun technique. And I'm hoping this applique one will open your eyes to fusible applique, and you will enjoy it as much as I do. Do we have any other questions for today?
We do. KT was wondering.
No, I cannot share my candy with you. Okay. And Erin already asked me for kittens for the office, and no, we're not gonna get a kitten this year. Just kidding.
I'm glad I have my kitty sweatshirt then.
I love that.
KT was wondering, should we use stabilizer when machine appliquing, or is that not needed?
I don't use it. What I do is when I have my background, I flip it to the back and I spray it really nice with best press to give a nice stiffness. Then I put my applique shapes, and my applique shapes have the fusible webbing on it, and they get nice and stiff. So I don't want extra stabilizers and extra stiffness, because it really gets like stiff. And I love the softness of it, and what I like it about it, that fusible applique balance really nice with machine quilting. You know, hand quilting, it's much softer, so hand quilting goes great with hand appliquing, but machine fusible applique goes great with machine quilting. So that way the overall feel of the whole quilt is really nicely balanced. So I pay attention to that. But if you want it, try it if it helps you. And what I want to bring up to you, pull up all your pieces, and you're gonna notice that we have included, like I said, the bird is here, extra pieces are in your package. What it's great, because you can make a tiny little lined up your shapes, put your project together, then create a little samples for yourself. One leaf on a little piece of paper and do a zigzag, then do an invisible, then do a blanket stitch, and write on those samples what stitches you use and which one appeals to you, and you got a really cute little sample pieces. Like I have it right here. I did this because I want to remember what stitches, what did I did, and I wrote it on a little other little piece of fabric, what stitches I use, and that way I can refer to it and look. Because if you're doing this quilt today, but in 2 months you get back to it, you want some kind of reference, and creating a little swatches with little samples really gonna be helpful for you guys.
Awesome.
It's gonna be a gift that keeps on giving.
I love that. Quilting Queen 71 was wondering if you could just
Hi.
remind us, what is the thread set that you were recommending for this?
So the thread set that I'm using is the Secret Stash thread. It's really, really nice. I love that one. The colors are perfect for our Primrose collection. And also, if you're getting this thread set, you may be using it, some of those threads, for our gorgeous Common Bright quilt. And we have a small packages and big packages of those, so you can go ahead and visit our website for that thread.
Incredible. And one last question from Mary Jane.
Hi, Mary Jane.
She was wondering, does the applique fray when you use a blanket stitch?
So the applique will not fray if you position your stitch correctly, okay? I noticed it. When you have your needle and you start stitching, you want to be positioned next to your applique, next to it. The second your needle start rubbing the edges as you stitching, this is what you're gonna start fraying your applique. But I noticed something when I stitch, and I'm not perfect, I'm just a human and I'm a woman, so things change sometimes for me. When I'm stitching and I get off track and I gently touch the edge and something didn't go right, I notice that when I finish stitching and I gently iron, very gently, and please use pressing cloth when you iron after is stitched, because you don't want your iron to shine up the edges of your thread and like melt it down. So gently press it, everything just completely disappears and go back to what you need. And another fun project is this umbrella project if you want to practice, and this is one of my favorite class. Go visit our website. I have videos on fusible applique where I show you more and more about it, and if we need to post some pictures of me stitching so that way you have a little reference. But it's the best if you do little samples with your sewing machine in a quiet space and then try with your iron the heat that you're using, how it's impacting your stitches. So I have a feeling you want your iron a little bit warmer because you want to nicely fuse it together and get rid of that sticky so the needle doesn't goog up as you stitching. If it's not pressed enough, that sticky will be there that we're using to lay our pieces and fuse them in place.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And you know what? This is actually a good question that just came in from Charlotte. She was wondering.
Hi, Charlotte.
And I have a feeling she's interested in joining. She was wondering, will we know in advance what the projects are each month, or is it a surprise?
I would love you to join. So we're keeping it surprise. Our customers have requested, and many times we don't show the video to the end of the month, so that way our customers that are getting the blocks have a lovely surprise. We have learned from our first 2 months, the second I showed that project, the girls were like, I don't want to see it. I didn't get mine. I want to have a surprise. So we're keeping it nice surprise, but believe me, I'm making those for myself. I want the best of the best for you. I put so much effort to design or pull something out from one of my best works in quilting. I've been quilting for many, many years, and there's a lot of designs that I wanted to do it with you guys. And this little quilts club gives us a little taste of some of the most beautiful quilts that I have made, that we can do it together. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you signed up for our blocks of the month, the house block, the Tailor Shop block of the month. That subscription starts in January. You have time to sign up, but go ahead and do it right now. We're almost to the end. We have only few places for that one, and I love that one. It's so simple and so fun. And then our other blocks of the month, remember, join us on Friday for our Christmas party. We're gonna jingle all the way, yes, and you can go ahead and join us and win prizes. We're gonna have 12 questions, 12 prizes for you. We're gonna play fun games in quilting, and I hope you enjoy it, and join us 11 o'clock on Friday for our Christmas show before the holidays. And then we're gonna take a little break, and then I see you in January again. So come on, join us on Friday. I hope you enjoy Little Quilts Club. Happy quilting, and thank you so much for joining our quilting corner. I hope you learned something today, and I enjoyed time with you, and thank you for all your questions.